Good evening. It's Ross Cook with the Center of Balance. Welcome, everybody. I'd like to welcome you tonight. And I want to talk about where your behavioral patterns come from and why it's sometimes so challenging for you to change them all. Those of you who have been in my office over the last 26 years have undoubtedly seen some of these drawings, and you understand that we believe that the universe is active. We believe that whatever you believe God to be is incredibly active. We believe that God is a verb, active in your life. Let's say that, and we believe also that your values, call this a value, filled up glass of water, that's the metaphor for your value, that life experience and all those encodes that are your value today are in this glass right here, and that those values create behavior. Plain and simple. Your behaviors have to come from somewhere. We won't get into how many encodes and this and that, but let's say tonight this is a value, and let's pick an easy one. Let's say this is the value of love. I understand love. I experience love. Love is, now no matter what you think about love, whether you're a person who believes that love has opposition or love has love and abandonment or whatever, this is your value of love for the sake of this discussion tonight. All right? Now, I normally say, and it's a generational thing, is you've seen Old Yeller, and I know there's a bunch of you who have never seen Old Yeller. But the metaphor still holds in that there are a lot of things that under the category of love have been painful. You've had people that you love die. You've been in relationships. You've been out of relationships. You've seen parents get ill. You've had to become the adult to your parents. On and on. There's a lot of experience. You were a little kid and you expected love and you were searching for love and you were trying to find and earn love instead of just being loved because you're worth it, because you're good enough as you are, and you build all these rules of how you get love, and then you get powered instead of being loved, whatever your definition of love was. So the dark spot of this picture is all that history that were tough encodes. The love's still in there, and that's your category of love. So you say, I'm going to start a new business, and I'm going to do it totally differently. I'm in love with this thing. I know I've done it in 3 or 4 businesses. I know how to do it differently. I've had a little bit of a shift in my life. I'm going to bring love to everything I do, and I start. Or I have been in a relationship before in my life, and I've been in many relationships before in my life, and they all sort of started the same and then had the similar middles, and then they ended somewhat similarly. I have been in love before, and I attract somebody that's really, really, really my opposite, and then I struggle when the natural sort of magic disappears, and they sort of show me who they are in addition to being my opposite. Okay? So whatever it is that you think you're looking for love, and you've had pain, you've had fear, you've had limit, you've had challenges, those end up in the same cup as your big cup of love. Okay? So now I want to start a new company, I want to start a new business, I want to start a new relationship, and I power 80,000 volts through my value of love. And I'm expecting to get nothing but beautiful sunny days, and because I'm experienced, I'm ready for those difficulties. Hold it. When you power this value up, you're going to get everything in the cup. You're going to get everything in their history. You're going to get pain and limit, and it's going to come on in a sequential time just as it has before. That's where your behavioral patterns come from, because our values are cluttered with plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, wonder, pain, beauty, struggle, and that's where our values come from. And our values build like this. They encode, because our subconscious mind doesn't care whether it's encoding the sound you want it to encode or background noise. It encodes it. It just encodes what's going on. And the more emotion, the more. And often in our lives, how many times do we have great things that are awesome and they're good? We sort of expect them and they don't get many encodes, but you just let a bunch of horror and pain show up and they get a lot of encodes, don't they? Tremendous number of encodes. So they're just pounding you with pain. And this is where your patterns come from. Your patterns come from you're just energizing this thing, and part of it is flawed, part of it is fear-based, part of it is limited. Does that make sense? So what we do by inner journeying at the Center for Balance, we go within because your subconscious mind is brilliant at encoding whatever's going on. That's its job. It's been doing it since before you were born. What we do is we go and we release the pain and the fear, and we shrink the pain and the fear down, and we power back up what are the good and healthy and magical and new and wondrous aspects of love in your world. And now you, value-based, begin to attract very different things. This kind of world's going to attract one kind of thing. This kind of world's going to attract another. Oh, you've noticed. Down on the bottom, there are still a lot of pain and a lot of limit. Are they as many as before? No. Do we want them all completely gone? The real answer is we do not. Because if all the pain and limit in history were completely gone, we might get surprised. We wouldn't see them coming because we want them this way. We can be somewhat familiar. We know them when they show up. Meanwhile, we've powered up love, and it's now attracting an entirely different world to us. This is basic balancing, basic healing, basic change work. This is how it's done. Now, who knows how to do it? Your subconscious mind knows how to do it. We've been training it for 26 years. And whether you're a Division I quarterback who wants to win so much that you get tight at the end and the fears are clogging that program, or whether you're a person that's taking chemotherapy and you're struggling and the chemotherapy's beating on you, and you need to get all of your values and your cells and the consciousness of your cells embracing that healing that's going on in your life, embracing that challenge and wellness and flow and setting the stage for it. You don't want a lot of this just in there pounding on you in the middle of that. There's enough in the world of that. You need to get it cleansed. You need to get those values and those belief systems worked so that you can do it differently. I'm Ross Cook. We teach balancing, which is a profound change tool, which is a journey deep within yourself to first identify the stresses and the beings and the entity and the energy moguls of your life. And we then identify values and we cleanse the values. We take the fears and the limits out of the values and we make a new causal, actionable source in your life, and your life changes profoundly. We just saw in goofy little drawings how it's done. Journeying within is the answer. I'm Ross Cook. We'll talk again soon. And until we do something slightly differently today. Just do it a little bit differently. Go for the quiet, the gap, the different, rather than the fast, the aggressive, the familiar. And we'll talk again soon. And until then, Jomo.